Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste and welcome everyone to Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. Everyone can hear or no? Ah. Before you get into the mode of understanding, I need to catch you fresh. Because if you're just storing up the words of satsang as some sort of conceptual stuff, it's just going to add to your trouble. It's not going to help you. So I need to meet you in the heart before you become very mindy about whatever is being said. So something has to be more instant, more open, fully empty. Otherwise, it will become a discourse. So, how many of you are convinced that you are not free and you need freedom? One. Come on, let me see your hands. You're convinced you're not free and you need freedom. Okay. Kind of. Yes, okay. Okay. So, I have good news and bad news. The bad news is that the one who wants freedom is not going to get it. You see? The one who wants freedom is not going to get it. But the good news is that the one that is free is always free. And the even better news is that you are always only that one. You see? So the problem is not of attainment, but it is only, if there is a problem at all, it is only that of misidentifying. So, if you look within, and provisionally I use the term within, can you find that aspect of yourself which is untouched by any of this? Any movement does not touch it? Can you find? Easy. How many feel like you can find? It's sounding like a classroom, I know. Okay. Most of you, no? Coming and going? Achha. You see? So this one, you see, the moving aspect, is that more intimate to you, or that which witnesses all of this but is itself unchanging? What is more intimate? Are the movements on the surface, or is the eternal one on the surface? The movements are on the surface. No? What's at the core? What's at the center? Are you there or not? Now, I don't want you to stay there because I know that is what your mind will tell you. I just have to stay here. I don't want you to stay there. I want you to leave there and show me. You see? How will you leave? Now, I will tell you what gives you the illusion of leaving. You see? That means that when your attention goes to some movement, some perception, then you may have an idea that you have left that. But actually, have you? That is what you need to check. Let your attention go anywhere. You see, look around the room if you want. Let it go anywhere it wants. Tell me if you have left. Haven't left. You see? Only attention seems to move from perception to perception. But that which is at the center and attention seems to report back into, that remains unchanging, isn't it? You see? Now, don't identify with anything that your attention goes to. You see? Attention can go wherever it wants. You don't make a me out of it. You see? Don't identify as what? Don't make a me out of it. No? That is freedom. Quick and easy. Where all will attention go? It will go to that which we call the body. It will go to emotion. It will go to thought. It will go to the world. You see? If you can, don't make any labels out of wherever it may go. Then it will become even easier to not identify. Because to identify, you need some labels. The label me, the label body, the label mind, the label world. So don't identify. Don't label. Simple. Don't understand anything. Don't make meaning out of anything or meaninglessness out of anything. But, no but, that's it then. If no but, then satsang over. The rest of it is just resistance management. You see? 99% of satsang is resistance management. Dealing with the but, dealing with the mind attack. You see? But if you remain label-less, notionless, don't have to worry about any of that. And the number one thing that gets in your way is what you want. You may feel like your resistance is something else, but actually it is fueled by desire. You may want to become something. You may want to become free. But nobody has ever become free. It's only a discovery of that which is always free. Time is a label, space is a label, me is a label, you is a label, guru is a label, disciple is a label, the universe is a label, freedom is a label, bondage is a label. None of this is reality. But actually reality also a label. You already have everything that you could ever want, except when you want. You see? Right now, in the simplicity of your beingness, everything that you can fathom, you already have. Everything is here for you, it is you. But the minute you want, you separate yourself, you divide yourself, you limit yourself. And the minute you get, then also you limit yourself, divide yourself. Can you live like this? Let's say, is life possible like this? Because the minute you try to live like this, of course, it's gone. Is a label-less existence possible? Did you lose anything of value? Did you lose your suffering? So, unless you value suffering, you will not want to go back to this false knowledge of conceptual labels, of distinctions, of separation. Now, your intellect will keep tweaking. It will keep buzzing, saying, jumping around, saying, but, what's the final answer? Is this freedom? Have I got it? Leave all that. There is no resolution there. There is no other aspect of you which is making you suffer except your mind. And you cannot resolve your mind. You cannot fix your mind. The healing is to recognize that you are not your mind. One says the intellect asks, how do we communicate without labels? How do we communicate without labels? Just the same way that you breathe without labels, or your heart beats without labels. Everything that is needed in life, all communication, all that is natural to this existence, can continue from the unborn. Only the unnaturalness goes away. The words will arise just like your breath is arising. That you will not be attached to them. And in fact, maybe this will be the first time that the words will be useful. Let me see what's happening. All of you look very free to me. I'm just wasting time talking. No? Looking very good. Yeah. So, if your question is still alive, I know there were some questions and some hands were up. If it is still alive, you can post it again in the chat. Okay, Niranjan and then Aniko.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, namaste, my dear. I don't see you yet.
Hello. Now
I hear
maybe.
you. I don't see you yet. Yeah, there you are. Good, good, good.
Uh, how's your father? I mean,
Ah,
yeah.
he's fine. He's fine. Fully recovered. Fully recovered.
Ah, that's great. That's actually I also have COVID duty from today itself. So
Oh, duty? Acha,
I'll
acha.
be going to the COVID patients.
Okay, okay. Full
Uh,
precaution.
maybe
Ah.
Father, maybe before I come to the question or whatever, I would. Am I audible, Father? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because I have a patchy internet connection. So
There's a bit of a lag, but you're audible. Don't worry.
yeah. So maybe I can turn off my video if it's better than.
Well, for now it's okay. For now it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Uh, I would like to put forward 2 3 points, like the morning thing that I discussed last time that still is continuing. Uh, the suffering in the semi-conscious states. And for last 2 3 weeks, there is like you know there is great so much of search, like so much of searching energy. Like I want to know the self and uh, like all like that kind of a search. And it's like even I cannot concentrate in the routine activities. Like I just want to run away, or like I want to isolate myself, and I just want to search. I mean, I want to know. That kind of energy is there for last few weeks.
Hmm.
And there is a feeling also like uh, you know uh, like I cannot bear this suffering anymore, it's like so heavy. I mean, and that kind of thing, like, I want to be free, or like I want to die. It's kind of a death wish,
Yes,
like I want to die because I cannot bear this suffering. And like the life, like life is unbearable, that kind of a feeling.
I understand.
For past few weeks. So maybe, uh, like I want to look fresh with you right now. I don't want to ask questions because then I don't want answers actually.
Good.
I I just I just want to be free, at least free from suffering, let's say.
Yes.
Because that the negative kind of thinking, and the believing the negative thoughts about yourself and life and all that same old pattern, you know and it's like many times I feel like I'm stuck in them. And
Yes.
it's difficult to inquire and pull out yourself from them. And uh, that's happening for past few weeks. Maybe I
Yes.
wanted to share this with you.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So I like what you say. I like what you say that I don't want answers anymore. Is it? Because it's the same old stuff, same questions, same answers, never-ending cycle. So you just want to be free, no? You just want to be free. But are you sure that you're not free right now?
The bondage seems only this thinking, these
Yes.
thoughts. That
Yes.
otherwise, otherwise there is no bondage. At least that's what looks to me. The
Yes.
only thoughts. I just want to be free from thoughts.
Yes. But in what way does a thought bind you? Is the mere appearance of a thought enough to bind you?
But then I have to know first that who are you referring to? I mean, if
The
whether
one,
thoughts bind me, first I have to know.
the same one that wants to be free. Do you know that one?
I can say I want to be free.
Yes, yes. So this I, is that bound by thoughts?
There are there is suffering due to thoughts, and that's what feels like I am bound.
Uh-huh. So this I is suffering from thoughts?
I I am suffering from thoughts, I can say.
So that just a thought, or is there something more real to that than it just being a thought? Like, for example, if I was to say, can you produce the suffering I? Can you introduce that one?
Like, I produce in the sense, I mean, I cannot produce it, phenomenally, like because uh, I to the best I can say this, but then this is the body. I mean, but body doesn't know it is, or body doesn't say that. It's only
Yes,
a thought. I thought I can say.
yes, yes. So, but Are you a thought? So there is a I thought, which means that any reference to you, which is conceptualizable, is a I thought, isn't it? Like a conceptual reference to you is the I thought. You see, any reference you make to yourself is a thought. But when you're just seeing, without trying to so much get into the question and answer thing, when you're just looking, are you just a thought?
No, I am the looking.
Ah, so this looking, what is happening to that one? What's happening? Something? Ah, it's this. Okay, okay.
This looking is just looking. This-
Yes, yes,
Because when there is suffering, this looking is looking at suffering,
yes.
and subsequently another thought says, "I am suffering," and it expresses,
Does
the
does looking ever look at a sufferer?
the sufferer is it within suffering. It is itself in the suffering. It is not separate. Uh,
Yes, yes.
like
But
if I say I am suffering, in that statement itself, uh, there is an I which is suffering.
there is a presumed I.
Ha,
There is a presumed I. Is there an I in actuality which is suffering? So I will go along with you as far as when you say yes, in the statement I am suffering, or in any statement I am whatever, there is a presumed I. You see? But does that I, which is presumed in this case, does that ever have a reality or tangibility of some sort?
only in my believing in it. So it's like appears to be real.
Yes. And does your belief ever make it anything beyond just a belief?
So it's just a belief. It's
Just
not more than a belief, but uh, it that belief causes so much of trouble. It's
belief
and
equals
it
belief equals trouble. You see? That is my main point since I've started sharing Satsang. I I watched very little of Sri Osho, no? But once he was asked this question, "Do you believe in God?" No? And his answer was, "I don't believe in belief."
true, true.
Like it's a
I've
beautiful.
seen that video.
So don't believe in belief because belief is trouble. All that you said so far is that when I believe, I suffer. The presumed I identity is the product of my belief. Everything that I say after I am is a story which includes this limited I. You see, and it is included as just a belief, not as anything tangible or anything real, as just a character in a story.
It's like dreaming, imagination, fantasy. It's
Yeah,
so
it is even less than a fantasy actually. Because even in a fantasy, you could say, I met a unicorn. You see? But this I you never meet, not even as a unicorn.
then what's the real I, Father?
Uh, who is the one that is looking? You say, I am just the looking. Is that just conceptual? Can it ever be just conceptual?
No, it is. I mean, that is undeniable
Yes, so that which is undeniable is real.
because this looking is always present.
Yes,
Without it, there is no
yes.
experience.
And you are speaking of the looking which is aware even of perception, isn't it?
Yes,
You see, because one way to look at the word looking is that it's sight. Sight is looking, hearing is hearing, smelling is smelling. You see, but that which is looking at all of this perception, I'm presuming that that's what you're speaking of. That which is aware of all of this perception, all of this looking, is the looking that you're speaking of. You see, and you say, when I check, it is undeniable. How can I deny? Because even to deny, even to say I am not aware, we are actually saying I am aware that I am not aware. You see? So reality
this
means that which is undeniable, that which does not come and go, that which is direct experience without needing to think about it or without needing any sort of experience.
but this one has nothing. I mean,
What doesn't it have?
in the sense that I cannot describe it, or the it's it has
Yes,
no characteristics.
yes, yes, yes. That's what all the scriptures say. No? So, if it had a defining characteristic, a definition to define is to limit, no? Then you would limit yourself in its undefinability. It is unlimited. Even to say it is unlimited is a limiting attribute because it takes away the limited from it.
This one has nothing to do with anything. I mean, it
Yeah,
has it has no
yeah,
doership. It doesn't do or not do, or it just is.
yeah,
That's the only perhaps possible characteristic, if we can say.
yeah.
Just is.
Even that is, it's okay as a pointer, you see, but it makes a distinction between is and is not, which does not apply to it. Even to your being, you could say, being, I am, or I am not. But that which is aware of being or not being, you see, does the characteristic of uh, existence and non-existence does not apply to it.
Maybe it is existent beyond existence and non-existence, if you
You
want
say
to.
like that just to please our intellect. You see, because the intellect cannot fathom um that which is beyond existent and non-existent. You see, the substratum of the intellect is existence, the sense I am. No? So it cannot go beyond its substratum, and that's why we feel like it has to be existent because existent means is. You see, so it cannot something cannot be neither is nor is not. You see, but your reality does not have to fulfill any of your intellectual paradigms.
Then everything is just notions, false notions.
Yes, and even that. You see, that is the end of duality. That is the end of duality. Because if we just become like we use the negation as if it is some final truth, then we'll get stuck in that ultimate negation, which was a pointer, neti neti neti, but ultimately even that negation is given up.
Yes, like you said, conclusions to confusion, and again new conclusion. That kind.
You can locate now within your being that aspect which has this play of confusion conclusion going on.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes. So let that aspect play out. You don't worry about it. You see? When we identify ourselves as that which is playing the game of confusion and conclusion, then we suffer. When we allow that to be, it's fine.
Yes, yes, and it does wobble, just the way you say, like, what about how to live life, and what about my life, and those kind of questions. But it's still the same thing.
The wobbliness also happens in only that aspect. You see? Sometimes it feels like when we let go of that aspect of our existence and we're not so attached to it, it can feel like some wobbliness, some fear arising, all that can also happen. You see? But unless we interpret even that in the same aspect of the intellect, even that doesn't cause any real problem.
Yes, definitely it is afraid. Like, it feels like I will die,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
like I will go out of existence.
yeah. Only the one that never lived can die.
So,
You see?
and it's kind of a, it's kind of a conceptual knowing energy. It wants to know everything. Like, it starts to jump about what about this, that, the, you know,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
it can never know nothing. I mean, you can never know anything conceptually, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why perhaps maybe some teachers say that it is the unknown. Self is the unknown in a
yeah,
way.
yeah. Yes, but the problem with that, and the problem can come with whatever anybody says. But the problem sometimes I've noticed when it is set like that, the self is unknown, then it can just feel like the masters are pointing us to some fantasy sort of self, and it will never be found. You see, we just have to trust them that there is a self. But actually, what is being pointed to in satsang is a very very clear, like when you checked what is here, you saw that there's this awareness. You see, you saw it non-perceptually, but it was clear. No, it is more tangible than tangible. All the worldly tangibility comes on top of it. You see, so but when we say sometimes that the actually it cannot be known, then sometimes we end up believing that it's futile. I can never really come to this recognition. You see? So, so that's why that's not a very attractive term for me to use here, because I notice it can cause that. But if I say it can be known, then also it can cause a lot of confusion. I'm aware of that. You
Yes, because known or unknown is always, taken in conceptual sense. So anyhow, it can cause trouble.
see. But that's the thing. So Atmajnana or self knowledge is not conceptual. That knowledge which is independent of perceptions and concepts. It's very simple.
True. It's self-knowing. I mean,
Yeah.
it knows.
Yes. So just notice the mind's tendency to make you separate from this knowing, you see, in some way, as if you are watching it from a distance or something like that.
It cannot make this knowing separate. It's not
Yeah,
possible.
it can create this presumed distinction. Try to create, not never in reality, of course.
It's unbelievable. How does this happen? I mean,
It's unfathomable.
no, even like, how do you believe yourself to be a separate one?
You were doing it 10 minutes ago. That's how. That's the trouble with being so unlimited, that you also have the power to believe yourself to be limited. How would you be unlimited if you didn't have the power to believe yourself to be limited? That would be a limitation you would have.
Still, you are playing around. It's not possible.
What else to do? Can we say, okay, God is unlimited, but he only has one limit. He cannot believe himself to be limited. You can't say like that. Just don't go to your intellect for validation or even for objection.
So,
Don't try to win that lawsuit. It's never going to happen. Because it's just going to say, keep saying objection, objection, objection.
objection overruled.
Overruled. The other thing I want to tell you is that the master is always there. You see, the job of the master is to point you to this, as it is so apparent to you in such a simple way right now. You see, that master is always available to you. The first thing in the morning, actually, it is the master that wakes up as the sense I am. You see, so
So,
it's always available to you. It can feel very blurry, because it can feel like many times first thing in the morning it seems the mind is full of attack, you see. But that's why I want to leave you with the reassurance that um, whenever you look for the master, it is always there. He'll
true.
point you to that which is so apparent, you see, in every moment, you see. So we don't have to worry about those moments where we forget to look, you see. But when we do look, you will find that you're always held by grace, held by your divine presence. And the moments where you forget to look, don't worry about that. That's also grace. It's fine. You see, because what happens is that even when you're looking, the mind will try to solve those moments, you see, where you forget to look. You see? But what about that? Forget about it.
Rather, it puts all the what ifs. What if this happens and that happens?
Exactly.
It
So
kind
you're
of
you're enjoying a beautiful dinner, you see, then it'll come and say, but tomorrow you may not have lunch. So it spoils the enjoyment of the dinner also that you have in front of you. You see, it serves no value. Very good, very good, my dear.
Thank you, Father. Thank you so much.
Well, very good. Okay, Aniko, you can come.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, my dear.
Oh, thank you, dear Ananta. Uh, after your speech is a bit like seems silly to have this question because you mainly answered to me, but for the future, just because I'm scared, and in the future I will be really miserable again if I don't ask it. So because my English is not very good, I just wrote it down, and this is 100% ego question. So. In the last 2 weeks, I am experiencing a lot of fear about the physical death. I have found the bigger fear in me. What if this body die before I lose every false belief? Uh, because I know I met the truth in my life, in this life now, times to times, but the habits of the mind still very strong, and this clarity is not stable yet here. And for example, if I die now in this second, this body, I mean, so I don't know what will happen to this soul, or will I meet you again, or Guruji again, or the truth again, or will I just circulate for a billion of years again and in the dark suffering? And this is a big, because I don't mind to die if I know then everything is come back to me and I don't forget you, I don't forget the truth. But I am not sure. And this is a huge fear in me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Very sweet question. I can give you a signed contract that I will meet you whenever you want to meet me. Don't have to worry. You see? So it's win-win for you, win-win. If you come back, then you will find me whether you like it or not. And if you don't come back, then you don't come back. It's fine.
Thank you. I trust you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was all my question.
I'm saying with full integrity. I'm saying with full integrity. I'm not giving you a story.
I know. And actually, I knew that answer like this, but I just wanted to hear from you.
Yeah.
I am all yours, Ananta. Everything is yours. Everything. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Let's catch up with the chat a little bit before we go to the hands. If the experiencer is not real, should experience be no more? If the experiencer is not real, should experience be no more? It's okay. Real and unreal is also not real. So we can. Um, so I just want to tell you that provisionally in satsang we use terms like reality, unreality, truth, false, all of that. You see, but the truth does not fit into the box of truth, or reality does not fit into the box of reality, of the label reality. You see, so so the point is to come to a complete openness and emptiness. You see, where we are no longer trying to determine so much whether something is real or not real also anymore. You see, it's just that we've held on to an aspect of our existence so tightly that a neti neti or a not this helps us loosen up a bit. You see, by saying, okay, what comes and goes is not real. Even that is just a concept, no? Even this, okay, I may get in trouble with a lot of people, but the fact is that when we say everything that comes and goes is not real, you see, then even this concept comes and goes, no? How can that concept be real? Even that is not real. You see, that concept is not always there. Everything that comes and goes is not. You see, so that it doesn't have a greater truth value than any other concept. It is just helpful that the sages use this kind of tool to get us to loosen up a bit. You see, so so when we let go of the notion of real and unreal also, then we are free. So experience and experiencer and experiencing, all three of them are also just conceptual limiting boundaries. There is no distinction between experiencer, experiencing, and experienced. You, at your stage, you don't have to worry about any of this. Just relax, all is good. Good, good, my dear. Dear Ananta, I didn't know you were ill. Was I ill? It could be true. Something feels familiar with that, but my notion of time is a little messed up. I had a bit of a throat thing. Mostly, my parents had coronavirus, so they also thankfully did not have much symptom, but they were what you could call ill. Here also, I've been having this bit of a throat thing for some time. Now that you remind me, but not too bad from what I remember. Thank you very much for your presence in my life. Thank you, my dear. I'm glad you are back. I missed you. What was happening last weekend? Something was there. I don't remember. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, some in the sangha we were worried about somebody's health and things. Okay. Next one says my son joined satsang for a short period, and when asked how he feels, he said, "No idea." Very good. Like in the church around the saints. Very good, you say. Acha. Thank you. One says, it's all understood in the heart. Please help me experience it in the. Sorry. It's all understood in the head. Please help me experience it in the heart. Okay, this one can come. Let's see if you can help her. You can come, my dear. Can you put your hand up so you're right on top of the queue? Hmm? Still there? The one who understood in the head? Rashmi?
Yes, that's me.
Ah, welcome, my
That's
dear.
me.
Good,
Can you
good,
hear
good.
me?
Yes, I hear you now. Very good. So, what is understood in the head?
Everything about freedom and experiencing and all, and it just, it's coming and going, coming and going.
Yes,
I really need help.
good. You got it. You got the help. You got the help now. So, are you yourself, and don't worry, I'll clarify it for you. Are you yourself just an understanding in your head? Okay, let me clarify it because I know as it came out, I realize it's very confusing sounding. You see, you're hearing this voice. That's clear to you, no? Yes? Are you hearing this voice? Maybe we have lost you. It was frozen for a
Can you
bit.
hear me?
Yes, now it's back, my dear. We lost you for a moment. Um,
Okay.
I was saying that you're hearing this voice, that you are hearing.
Yes.
That is apparent to you, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. How is it apparent?
I can hear it.
Yes, yes, that it is you that can hear it.
Yes,
How is that known?
it's just known.
That's it. That's the knowing of the heart.
I see.
It's simple like that, is it? How is it known? You don't perceive such a I, you see? You don't have to think about am I perceiving it or not. So it's not a thought, it's not a perception, and yet it is the most obvious thing. I am aware of the sensations that we call the body. I am aware of these perceptions that we call the world. You see? And yet this I itself is not a sensation or a perception, and yet nobody is confused that it is I that is perceiving, that is aware of perception. That is the knowing of the heart. You see? You just you just know it. You see? It's just known so simply. You see, now if you leave this knowingness unburdened, you see, from any expectation, don't burden it with what you could want from it as a body mind. You see, then it will blossom. You see, but if you burden it,
Okay.
oh, but does this mean I'm free now? You see, will I not suffer anymore? Sorry. Will I share satsang? You see, will I have disciples? I'm not saying you're thinking all that. I'm just saying that if you burden it with these kind of expectations or any kind of expectation, you see, then it'll just become limited again or seem to become limited again. So, like a favorite pointing, no, is who is perceiving this hand or who is aware of the perception of this hand.
I am.
You see? Now, this I, is that perceived?
Yes, it is.
You perceive this I that is aware
Yes.
as what? What is the quality of it?
It's nothingness.
You see, but is it like a dark, empty space? Blank? Like if you shut the lights of this room, it becomes like that?
Yes.
Ah, so who's aware of that?
It's me that is aware.
Yes, yes. But you as a dark, empty space is aware? Or is it something that doesn't even have those attributes? We can't even call it a something actually.
It's a dark, empty space.
Uh-huh. But that which witnesses this dark, empty space, is that dark?
I can't say.
You see? You explore this because many get into this trap because what happens is that attention seems to go from this vibrant colorful world, and when it sort of goes within, then it seems to go into this sort of dark emptiness. And sometimes because attention is perceiving that dark emptiness, we feel like when it is withdrawn in this way, then it comes here, therefore I must be that. But that is not the end of the inquiry. We must also ask who perceives that or who is aware of that darkness. You see? Does that have any
Okay.
quality? Does that have any quality in itself? And it is clear to you that it is you that is perceiving even that darkness. But I can propose to you that that which perceives the darkness is neither light nor dark.
Okay.
You see?
I see.
Because in the limit of the mind, it can have two paintings for you. You see, one painting is a world full of vibrancy, and the other painting is that dark and empty nothingness, like a void. You see? But both are paintings. You remain as the witness of both of these, and you yourself are neither the void nor are you the vibrancy. Both, we can say later, that both appear within you.
Okay.
You see? So, if you were just like a child, and I was to say, hey, who's looking at this hand right now? You see, you would say it is me, Ananta. You see? But you would not have to refer to yourself as some dark, empty space, no?
Right.
It's only after our spiritual practices coming to satsang do we pick up these references. You see, nobody in the world is going around thinking of themselves as some void or something like that, isn't it?
Right.
So you're neither this or that. You see, you're beyond both.
So it's just looking.
Looking in, so we can use that term, but by looking, usually we mean perception. But I'm
Right.
speaking that which is aware even of perception. You see, because you can actually imagine one by one if all your senses were to withdraw. There's no more sight, there's no more sound, there's no more hearing, there's no more smelling, there's no more touch. Even this inner perception, we can imagine it goes away. But that awareness, which is aware of all of these various forms of perception, that still remains, isn't it?
Yes.
So that is the distinction between the play of attention, which we call perception, and that which is aware even of attention.
So basically, I have to be with the awareness of the attention.
If you were distinct from it, you see, then I would give you that advice. If you were distinct from it, then I would say, okay, stay close. You see, hug the awareness,
Okay.
then you could merge with it. But the fact is that you are it.
Okay.
You see. In fact, my advice usually is that if you feel like you have to do something, you see, then you must try to leave it and show me. Like, don't be aware. Instead of trying to be aware, don't be aware. Can you do it?
You cannot not be aware.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Then what would the task to be aware be? If you cannot not be that, then there is no
Yeah.
task.
Okay.
So
You explain it.
all that is needed to be done in a way is don't take yourself to be that which you are not. You see, you don't have to take yourself to be that which you are. You just don't have to take yourself to be that which you are not.
Which you're not. Okay. You explain it so well, Father. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. I'm very new to your satsang, but I used to always see you in Rishikesh.
Ah, yes, yes.
But it's absolutely, I'm so grateful to be here in your satsang. And please, please keep supporting me.
Yeah, I'm always there for you, my dear. Always.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Father. Thank you.
Very welcome. Always welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see the next one. Okay, let me pick up some from the middle because I can't actually remember where I was. One says Papaji told one German lady when she could see in his presence who she really is. Papaji told one German lady when she could see in his presence who she really is. Then she had a mind attack. He said, I give you the weapon of Shanti revolver 45 caliber. You just look at the thoughts. This weapon will take care. You just remain as the witness of the thoughts. Yes. Very good. Is there something beyond awareness also? As awareness also has a subtle quality of awareing. I like it. Has a subtle quality of awareing. And anything that has a quality of however subtle it is still an object. Not that I'm aware of, but you can look, it's a good contemplation. You see, you suppose you come to that, no? Suppose you come to that. How will you come to it? Without awareness? So, I like this kind of contemplation. I used to love this stuff actually. Then next one says, Master, everything seems temporary. Even if we stick to material world, after some time, we feel something else is needed. That it is not that. You see? If we hold to any notion after some time, I feel this is not that. Yes, Master, everything seems temporary. Even after we stick to material world, after some time we feel like something else is needed. This is not that. If we feel we hold on to any notion, after some time I feel it is not that. Yes. Whatever we can say it is that too is also not that. You see? So just be free, relax, enjoy. Next one says, Hello Father, I notice when I connect with you, I am pulled into the bliss that you are. And yet I notice that I also leave that which I am in my own self. Ah, acha. Let's see, can you come up? Kate. Let's see. Okay, you can come up now if it's possible for you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, I just put my camera on, my video on.
Ah, but it's a dark, empty room, like we were talking.
Oh my gosh.
This is a dark,
Oh
empty room.
no. Time in Australia. Hang on. I put a light on. Hold on. It's better. Oh, I'm still dark. Oh no.
There you are.
Yeah, a little bit better. A little
Yeah.
bit better. Hello.
Hello, my
Thank
dear. You
you.
remind me so much of Shivani, no? I don't know if you know Shivani, but suddenly I see you
No.
now. And Shivani is my sister from Australia as well. So yeah, I
Oh,
don't know if she's here, but you're reminding me so much of her at the moment.
oh, oh, that's
Maybe it was
nice.
maybe it was
Where
the
in Australia? Oh,
I don't know what she
where
says.
in Australia is she?
Tuwamba, something like this.
Oh, I'm in Perth on the other side.
Ah, okay, my dear. So you
Oh,
say that when you connect with me, you pulled into the bliss that I am, and yet you notice that you also leave that. Can you say again fresh?
um, I guess really it's probably the fear of getting lost in another form. Um, yeah, this is yeah, this is rather than just meeting that in myself, I guess,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah,
I want to give you an experiment to play with. You see? try to send your attention outside yourself and tell me when you succeed. All of you.
Try to send my attention
Outside yourself.
outside of myself.
You see? So you may feel like you are sending it to the walls. You see? But is it that your attention is going outside you? I don't want to over specify because it'll spoil the fun of the experiment.
No, it's just the thoughts that get in the way.
Yeah. But play with this experiment for a bit and tell me if you can send your attention outside of yourself. Like you're hearing this Ananta now, or you're seeing him on the video. Has your attention gone outside of yourself to have this perception?
Actually, no, no. When I
Yes.
talk to you, it's not. It's fine.
But when you talk to others, how is it?
It's just a response in my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
It must be. It must be in there, not.
So the separation of inside and outside is just in your mind, like you said. You see, our attention, like we may say that I'm bringing my attention to the road and hearing the sound of the traffic. You see, but what is actually going to the road? Nothing. There is no physical quantity there which will be measurable. No, saying that oh, Ananta's attention is here. Then nothing like that. So all our attention is doing actually, in a way, is to just visit various aspects of my being, you see, various aspects of my being, and perceive everything that is already within me. So when you're with me, it is still inside you, you see, and when you're with yourself, you're still inside yourself. There is this distinction of inside and outside and me and other is just notional.
So is that why you say to people when people say to you, "Oh, be with me," or "Don't leave me," or "Bless me," you're like, "Oh, I can't not be,"
It's
because that
impossible.
is
Exactly.
actually our nature.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. It's a beautiful discovery. You see, as simple as it may sound, it's a pristine discovery. You discover your own divine presence.
Thank you.
So welcome, so welcome.
I can see the fear that arises, like, "Oh no, don't stop talking to me because it will go away."
But
But
don't fear the
yeah,
fear. Don't fear the fear. Let the fear come.
don't.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, yeah, because I want that to go away. I don't want it to get in the way.
But you just discovered that it cannot go away. It cannot go away. Everything else arises in that presence. Everything arises in that divinity. It cannot go away. Everything within that can come and go.
The security needs someone's key.
Someone's key. Someone just check with him. What? So and I'm here for you even in this manifest form in satsang. So if you need to ever clarify something, or you have a doubt that comes, or you just want to say hi, you can always come up.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That
Mm.
means the world to me. It feels like the most important thing at the moment. So thank you.
So welcome. Always welcome. Thank you. Then next one says, being in satsang with you, there is so much joy and bliss. No thought, this is so natural to me. But when closing my eyes, relaxing in it, something is pulling me into sleepiness. It's okay, go to sleep. Then you say, this is typical for when this joy with the master comes. After a while, this sleepiness, it doesn't stay, but I'd like you to put a light on it. It's fine. You see, I see my children sleeping, and all of you also my children. So I see them, and they cause no trouble to themselves or to anyone else when they are asleep. You see? So it's complete. Don't worry. You see? What can happen many times is that I don't know whether I should say this part actually. Many times is that if you fight sleep, no, then it seems to amplify. You see? Then you say, okay, come if you have to. It's okay. And it's okay. If it does, it comes, it's okay. You see? Many times you come into states which you may not have a label for. You see? And you don't need the labels for it. In India, we have too many labels. So you may come into these kind of states, and the mind will tell you, but that is sleep. So let whatever is happening or organically, naturally, is completely fine. Next one says, the habit to label is so strong and old. It is happening all the time, it seems, yes. Yes. But the good news is that this moment you start fresh, empty of all labels. You see. Every moment is like that. You see. So it is actually the labels which are struggling to get you. I don't know, if you see it like that, it will become simpler. You see. Your being is ever fresh, ever alive. You see. But being, it seems like, has got into this habit of turning back and saying, okay, Mr. Mind, what are you saying? You see? So now when we learn how to be in this openness, in this freshness, then we are no longer concerned with what inputs or what versions of reality the mind has for us. You see? We just fresh. You see? So like this, empty, empty, empty is our natural state. You see? Can you notice like this? Like try to start this moment already with a preconceived notion. Can you do it right now? You can't do it. You can't carry something into the freshness of your being. And your being seems to say, okay, now, okay, I'm going to give some value to what the mind is saying. You see? But no power is greater than your being. And if you, as your being, you say, I'm going to remain empty, nothing can stop you from that. So, first, drop these beliefs that the mind is very strong. It is nothing for you. It is not even a mosquito. You see, you are that boundless ocean in which the arcs of the universes come and go. No, Ashtavakra said, you are that boundless ocean in which the arcs of the universes, they come and go. What is the mind to you? It's nothing. But the minute you start to believe that it's so big and it's so strong and so difficult, you see, then it takes on more, it seems like it takes on more power that way. Okay? Once you take in your heart that your being is beyond all of these limitations, all of these um, constructs, energy constructs called the mind, is not so big or strong. So many messages. I felt that after my initial talk, there won't be. Okay, let's see. I'll pluck at one or two. Okay, I'm not going to read everything. Okay, some hands are up. Okay, Chanda can come first.
Now, Father.
Hello.
Father, I just, I don't know, you've answered already my questions. Thank you so much in your discussion with others. Father, I just want to ask you, when I'm listening to you and listening to Satsang, I'm so inspired that I want to sort of wrap up everything here, my business, my work, and not be interested in that, and just be part of the Satsang. I feel this world, whether it's my business or the family or where I'm living in Delhi, it takes me back so quickly into my own personhood that I lose that which I gain from my satsang with you.
So what's your feeling? You feel to drop all of that and
I
come
feel
here?
I should come there to you, frankly. I should leave here in Delhi and leave my business and come there to you. That's the way I feel.
Yes. You're always welcome to come. All of you are always welcome to come to Bangalore and stay here. You see? But I don't want it to feel like it's a sort of escapism. You see? It shouldn't feel like it's an idea of escapism. Many times you'll feel like uh, it just happened organically that you came. You see, because the challenges that are thrown at you at work will also be thrown at you in the sangha, whether you believe it or not. You see, so and sometimes it can be worse because at least at work, if it's your own business, then you're the boss. In the sangha, nobody is the boss. You see, or everybody thinks they're the boss. So, so it is not that you're able to escape that which needs to be transcended. You see, so if you feel like it's going to be easier, and that's why you want to come, then that may not be the best approach or the best approach to come. You, uh, having said that, if you feel like you're done with all of that and you just want to be here in satsang and you want to stay around this building or in this building, always welcome to come. You see, but don't come with the idea that you will leave all those troubles behind, because that which causes trouble is everywhere. You see, that which causes trouble is everywhere. So so I want you to come. I'm very happy if you do, but I want it to happen in a way which is like natural and organic. So if you go to work tomorrow or whenever it happens, and you just feel in your heart that okay, that chapter is done, you see, and you're happy to devote your life to satsang, you see, then full blessing for that. But if you just feel like, oh, but this work, then it's just so much trouble and I have to deal with all these people and talk about all of this, and I just want to come to a place which is very nice and everybody loves each other, you see, then you want to come, then that would not be the best, because you see, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't really work like that. So you just have to dive in deeper into your heart and see what is it actually saying.
Father,
Is it?
somehow I feel that being with a guru, being in the physical presence of a guru and a master, maybe I'm wrong, but somehow I'll progress faster, with a lack of a better word, or I'll be freer faster. I'm using the wrong words, I know. And maybe that's not true also, but that's just coming from my heart, that I feel being close proximity to a master is too good an opportunity to miss.
It's
Am I wrong?
no, I have to say that I was wandering about from place to place, from master to master, from concept to concept, from spirituality to spirituality, till I came to Guruji, and he wiped it off. So I'm not going to argue with that at all. So
Because I see myself doing that, Father. I see myself going from concept to concept and guru to guru and getting lost when actually you are there.
you got me on that one. You are always welcome to come.
Thank you, Father. Thank you.
Many
I
times,
ask your blessing, Father, and I ask you to please give me direction. Please
yeah, my
keep your focus on me,
full
because
blessing.
I'm lost right now. So please call me to you, not as an escape, but as a direction. I ask you for your blessing.
You're always welcome. You're always welcome to come. It is your home. It is your home that you'll come to.
Thank you, Father. You call me, please. You call me.
I am. I am. I am.
Thank you.
Okay, next one. Hetvi can come.
Am I visible?
Hello. Yes, you are, my dear.
Yeah. Hi. So, I don't remember in which satsang, but it was one of the satsangs when you told me to keep coming and keep listening, and to not to look out to the theories as of now, because it was sitting on my conscious, and it didn't let me focus on what really was to be focused on. So for a few days it did work, and I'm really thankful to you for that. And recently, since past few days, it's not working at all. It's coming back, and actually it's kind of now getting worse, and it keeps ruining my sleep patterns, and even the mornings. It constantly attacks, and there's nowhere to go or an escape, and I really don't know what to do. It just doesn't leave my head.
So, uh, so this that doesn't leave your head. Is it like a bundle of concepts, or what doesn't what keeps attacking you?
So there are a lot of things. So it keeps on jumping. So I am an overthinker basically. So if a thought attacks me, I'll just keep digging in and there'll be a time wherein I don't know that I was sitting here for 5-10 minutes, and it just I just stay there physically, but I'm not there, and in those moments it has affected me a lot.
I see.
That it's like okay, now I don't deserve to even sometimes be what I am, and I feel like I'm flawed, and I just want to jump out and not live anymore. And that past keeps banging and banging, and it's not helping.
Firstly, I want to send you all my love and all my. Never feel like you have to jump out of something. If it comes to that, just catch a flight and jump into a flight and come to Bangalore. No? Don't. You're very young and you reminding me right now of my daughter actually. So I want to tell you that it is never that bad. You see, the mind may present it to you as if it is all worthless and I don't want to live anymore. But if you want to jump, then jump into a plane and come to Bangalore and we'll take care of you. Yeah, so don't worry about all of that. The second thing I want to tell you is that your being, what you are, is never tarnished. Is never tarnished. No matter, you may be an overthinker and you may think something 10 million times, full of negative thoughts, what the world calls impure thoughts, all the random nonsense in the world you may have thought, you see. But in this moment, your being is fully pristine in every moment. It remains untouched. You are unblemished, you see. And you don't have to believe that. You will come to a point where you see that. You see. You'll come to a point where you start to notice that. And you'll see that the magnificence of this being, the magnificence of your existence is so beyond whatever the past may contain. You see? So your thinking cannot damage you in some real way. The only thing it can do is it can propose to you some ideas about how you are limited and how you are not enough to yourself. You see? And as you remain in satsang, then what will happen is that these ideas will not be taken to be the truth. You see? Now, one trap that the mind will set for you is that it'll set this idea of working and not working. You see? And we will say, okay, if there is the rising of peace or joy or love, satsang is working so well. But sometimes you come to satsang and the mind attacks you even more. And the mind says, see, even this stopped working. Now you're completely
Yeah.
okay. Now you're completely.
Yeah.
See? Don't buy into that idea. You see, there is no such thing as working or not working when it comes to satsang. Just being in satsang is enough for itself. You see, it is not. So what will happen is, and maybe this is a bit subtle, and we can talk more about this, but you start to love God or the truth for itself, not it because it makes you a certain way or something happens to you or even that you get peace. You see, it is not about getting something out of it. It is just because it is true. You see, often I say this: if you had to live a lie, you see, would you do it now, even if it was accompanied by peace and joy and love? You see, and many times you may actually say, okay, maybe. But there comes a point in your spiritual quest where you say, I just want the truth. I'm just tired of living a lie. You see, I'm just tired of living a lie. Now I don't care what it brings to me, but I just want it to be true. You see, I just want what is real. So then we are not so trapped by the mind's tactics about say this started working or stopped working, this is working well, because you're not looking for something out of it. It is enough for by itself for what it is. You see? So that's the same for satsang also. Satsang is not something that is meant to give you something, it is just the truth, the company of the truth, satsang. You see? So it is enough because it is the company of the truth. And the minute we start to have expectations that this is what should happen because of it, then the mind will start playing with it in that way. You see? So many come to me actually and they say, Ananta, and I started doing the inquiry, it was so beautiful, it was working so well. After 6 months of doing the inquiry, it stopped working for me. But it cannot stop working, you see. The inquiry is the question, who am I? Every time you ask. You see, the answer is revealed to you. The answer may not be fathomed by the mind. You see, but many times what can happen is that in the revelation it is accompanied by some love, some peace, some joy, and we start getting attached to those byproducts, and we say, ah, it's working really well. I'm so spacious. Mhm. And then after a point, like everything else which is phenomenal, it may not continue to be that way, and then we feel like, oh, the inquiry stopped working. But it is not like that. The inquiry is the question, who am I? You see, it has nothing to do with the production of peace or joy. You see? And this may be tough for many of us to hear because many of us feel like we are inquiring because we want something out of it. You see? But the inquiry itself clears us clears up that desire, that wanting, because that wanting makes us suffer. You see, that desire makes us suffer. If we are okay with whatever just is, then what suffering can there be? You see, we have an idea of what something should be, and that is suffering. You see, so when you come to satsang, if you come empty of expectation, you see, then every satsang is just perfect. It doesn't even have to be perfect. It is just what it is. So, so don't let your mind trap you in this game of working and not working, even the game of boring and not boring, because maybe it can happen that way that you may not be saying it to be polite, but but it's very common. You know, where you feel like, yeah, it was nice, you see, but actually now in my 10th satsang, I'm realizing he's just saying the same thing over and over, you see, which is actually true because there's only one actual answer, you know. So I try to keep it as with as much variety as possible, but ultimately I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, and the mind will say, "But this is now super boring, you know. This is not fun anymore." So, so don't get into that trap of bored and not bored and working and not working. You see, just
To
just
say the truth, it did occur today that it's the same thing coming again and again, like, but it is not helping me.
yeah, yeah, and and the most important point is that I'm not actually here to help you. You see, you see, I'm not here to help you uh, because the one that is asking for help is not the reality of you anyway. So, in a way, without sounding too strong, I'm here to get rid of you so that you can be the real you and not trouble yourself in this way. But the one that says, help me, you see, that one, nobody has ever found that one. Where is that one? You see? It doesn't actually exist. It's just the product of our narrative. It is like we've read the story so much we believe the character is real, you see, and we want that character to be helped. So this is just a production of our belief system, you see. So I'm here to free myself in a way, you see, ourself as one being from this limited idea of myself, you see, and that is the only contract we have. You see. So uh, you when we let go of this idea of being helped, you see, and we just come because it is true. Something in our heart knows it is true. You see, something in our heart knows it is true. That much is undeniable for most of you who can come for at least 2 or 3 satsang. No? So something is already recognized that something is true. So that much that the truth is being pointed to is undeniable in satsang. But the ideas of I need to be helped, this is the way I need to be helped. You see, if we actually knew any of that, then we would have helped ourselves by now. But we actually don't know. We only think we know. You see. So,
That
so
itself causes another thinking cycle.
don't. I rarely say this, okay, but to you, I'm saying this. Don't have this like aversion to thinking, you see, which means that what can happen then is that you create a block and you try to avoid thoughts to come, and then you fall into another mind trap, which is A thought will just knock at your door and you'll go running. No, no, thought, you are coming. You see, it is not. Freedom is not like that. You're not to be in a fearful state from thought. You see, in fact, welcome them and welcome them to leave. Just they can't stay. You see, let them come. Make your mind the freeway. You see, there's no parking. Maybe I told you this last. Maybe I told you this last time, but just let them come and go. But no running scared of thoughts. You see, thought is coming. It's okay. It's okay. What will it do to you? Nothing. You see. And don't label yourself as a overthinker or something like that. Everybody is an overthinker. Don't worry. You see? You see? So believe one thought is to overthink it, and everybody does it, even the sages. So don't worry.
Relieved.
Just allow yourself to unwind a bit, because sometimes the mind can set you up and wind you up so much everything becomes super serious. You see, and then everything becomes like a matter of life and death, and what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Things are okay. You see, things are okay. You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. And I'm always there for you. If you like, somebody who's here, maybe Shivani or Radha or somebody can give you my contact details on WhatsApp or something. And if you're feeling really down or low or something one day, just send me a message. I'm very, very, very slow with my responses sometimes, and my usual response is all my love to you, my child, or something like that. But know that I'm there for you. You see? So so and um, and no fancy ideas about jumping out from here and there. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Take Okay. Then something. Okay. So if anyone wants to come, just put your hand up. I have no energy or uh, attention left to focus on the chat so much now. Chanda, your hand is up from last time, no? Like earlier?
Yes, Father, it's from last time.
This is lower there. Okay, looks like we are good. Somebody's waving? Santosh has his hand up. I missed that. Santosh, if you're still here, you can come.
Hello, Ananta.
There you are. Hello, my dear.
Hello, Father.
Who's this girl with you?
This is Olga here and Santosh.
Okay. No, I'm just messing with you, of course.
Are you serious? Okay. Bye. Hello,
All is good?
I just wanted to say hi because I've been following your satsang for a lot of times already since the past month, and I just wanted to say hello because I never talked to you yet directly, and I
Feels
just
like
huh?
I feel here it feels like we've spoken often. Maybe I've met you in the heart so often that it just feels that way.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I just wanted to say thank you from deep down for all these beautiful satsangs. It was just such a great support and so beautiful to be in your presence and to hear your words and to feel your presence. It was very, very supportive during that times also because I've been I left Sahaja a few months ago, and it's just so beautiful to be in the presence of someone like you so regularly that it's beyond words. Thank you so much, and for also um, yeah, being in Guruji's spirits as so alive. It's just so beautiful. Thank you.
Very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very good. Very good.
Actually, can I say one more thing?
Yes, yes, of course.
Yes. It has been quite some miracle because a few weeks ago I was desperately looking for a flat
Mhm.
and I didn't find anything. And after one satsang of you, like right after one satsang, I was just looking up something and I was imagining like what I would like to have, and like straight I found something and I called the guy and it worked out like instantly. And I don't know, it felt there was some grace of your from your side involved, and
All
I just
Guruji's
want to
grace.
share
All
that.
Guruji's grace. Thank you. Good, good.
And this is the first time that I'm here, visiting him here. Like he's living 20 minutes away from me by car, and
Ah,
another Sangha member is there too. So,
ah.
and it's the most beautiful place. I'm gonna show you.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
kind of on the rooftop. You don't see well, but
Ah.
it's the most beautiful garden and the
Oh,
most beautiful outlook.
look at that.
Isn't
Oh,
that amazing? We're gonna do barbecue tomorrow here.
very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Very good. Full blessings, full love, full blessing. Both of you, all of you.
Thank you.
And Father,
Ah,
I don't know exactly. I haven't prepared anything, and usually, I'm not asking much. But of course, everything when I'm listening to you, every time something is coming up in some reflections or sometimes like whatever. So maybe it's just a nice opportunity to share those also. Um, I recognize, like you just said, just want the truth for the truth's sake. So let's say like this. And I think it's always the same topic with me. It hasn't changed much in the last years. That I'm like, if I have to ask myself, like, what am I looking for? I don't know. I can't honestly say, oh, it's just for the truth, because I do look for happiness and I look for fulfillment, and so I'm also aware that finding it in the outer world like that, like,
I'm on through. Can
is
you repeat the
very
last one?
unlikely.
Can you just repeat the
Finding
last
like certain, yeah, like it's very unlikely to find this kind of happiness or peace or whatever I am looking for in the outer world. I know it's unlikely, so somehow I think I'm seeking for something else, maybe spirituality, but I don't know if if I can honestly say I'm just looking for the truth. Something is there, but I'm not sure if this is a question I should really ask myself. You also know myself, like the way of thinking and stuff. So somehow it feels like rather burdening
if
than.
you're going to beat yourself up about it and
Sorry.
feel if you're going to beat yourself up about it or feel guilty or unworthy or any of that stuff, just forget it. Forget I ever said it. And
Thank
this is
you.
for anything I say in satsang, yeah. For all of you, thank you for pointing that out, because I want to tell each and every one of you that nothing I say is meant to make any one of you ever feel guilty or unworthy or not enough or not devoted enough or any of that. Sometimes I'll say some things to point something out to you or to provoke something in you, but never to make you feel unworthy or not enough or something like this. You see, and there are enough pointers, and the nature of the mind is that it will grab onto this. If I ask Olga now, this is the only thing she'll remember from satsang today, because this poked her, no, somewhere. So, no, maybe hopefully it's not true. You see? So, but this is the nature of the mind. That which pokes us, we remember, and there are thousands of other things which were said, which then get lost in that. You see. So I just want to give you this advice that if something makes you feel like guilty or you're not truly in this for the truth or something like that, just forget it. If you can attend two satsangs with Ananta with his boring monotonous voice and same old examples, then you must be in it for the truth. It reminded me of a story I shared with some Sangha members the other day also. Some of you know about A Course in Miracles. Now, before I met Guruji, I feel like A Course in Miracles was really helpful to me here. So, I remember one story that happened was the collaborator of Helen Schuckman, who helped her write the course. After Helen passed away, he was invited to a course gathering. Yeah, and if you read the course, it's a lot of words and things like this. No, so what happened is he went to this gathering, and then people were arguing about what the Jesus of the course, he actually meant when he said these words, and people were fighting and saying no, he actually meant this and he actually meant that. So this one, I forget his name unfortunately this moment. So this one said, "Give me the book." You see? So he gets the book, A Course in Miracles, and it almost looks like a holy book, no? So it can feel a bit intimidating. So he took the book, opened that page, tore that page out, and said, "Okay, throw it away. Now read the rest." No? So this is what I want to tell all of you. So many times you'll come across things which seem to uh, confuse you or bother you, or you just feel, that this it just hurts you somewhere. Just forget about it. Don't worry. There are so many pointers in satsang that if you pick any of them which resonates most with you in your heart, that is more than enough. You see? So don't worry. I know you're not in it for the truth anyway.
Yeah, that's why I've lived 3 years in Bangalore, huh?
Bangalore is such a lovely place to live. I mean, you were just here for the sights.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. All the cars, as far as you can see, doesn't smog.
That's so boring. Just messing with you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, what bhajan you want to hear? Let's see what comes up. How about this one? Is very nice. Govind Krishna Krishna Govind Krishna Mana Mohana Mohana Krishna Muralidhara Mohana 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 Muralidhara. What is that fun one? The reggae one somebody sang at Sahaja? You know the reggae one? The new reggae? Ah, yeah, yeah. Jesus has the mask on, so I don't want to. I am that, 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 I am, 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 I am not my body, not my physical qualities. I am not my thinking, not my mental philosophies. I am not my emotions, not my race or religion, not my country or nation, not even a man or a woman. I am that, 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 I am, I am that, I am, I am that, I am, I am that, I am. Nisaga that does it. That I am that, I am. Shri Muji Baba said that I am that, I am. Shri Ramana said that I am that, I am. Jesus Christ said that I am that, I am. I am not my history, not imagination or memories, not my talents or my abilities. I was here long before they came to me. I am not my circumstance, not my money in the bank, not good or bad reputation, not my job, not my occupation. I am not, 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 I am, I am that, I am, I am that, I am, I am that, I am. Nisaga that say that I am that, I am. Shri Muji Baba said that I am that, I am. Shri Ramana said that I am that, I am. Jesus Christ said that I am that, I am.
not a person, it is consciousness. It is a godly presence inside each one. We must not use it foolishly. When you say I, remember God. It is the God principle in you that is speaking. You must come to know it as not personal, but impersonal, uncreated, unborn, imperishable. It is the original one. To know this is to find freedom in God. To not know this is to be asleep. Respect, honor, value this name that God gave you, the name I am. It is truth. It is love. It is consciousness. It is God. Remember this deep within your being and be happy. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. Guru Kripa Kevalam.